Hello everyone and welcome back. Dace here of Stonebeak Productions, and today we are actually going to play a little bit of this. And the reason that I am doing this video is because just yesterday morning I beat the game for the first time, which is pretty cool for me anyway. I wasn't playing this game nearly as religiously as some people who had it mastered like a few days after it came out or whatever. But anyway, I figured I would just talk a little bit about my experience with this game so far, and specifically the run in which I beat the game, and just get into a few details. So anyway, the first week the first week I had the game, I played a bunch, not an insane amount of hours. I think I'm not even sure actually, but it wasn't like super crazy. The second week I played much less, but still did a few runs per day or whatever the case was. But I wasn't really focused on playing too smart. It was kind of just like get into the trials, get a bunch of chaos gems, and then buy up as much of the relics and the spells as possible. That was my main focus, and I've certainly done that. I think the first thing was like securing all the cloaks that I could, and then from there, as you can see, like I've got definitely most of the relics, and then for the spells, as you could see out in the courtyard, I've got everything except for the remaining 7. And for those of you who aren't aware, every time you beat the game, starting from your first time, you will receive one of the Chaos spells or Chaos Arcana. So because I've only beaten it once, I have only received one, which is this one here. My aim now is to beat the game 7 more times to get those 7 remaining Chaos Arcana. So that's exciting. But anyway, moving on. Part of why I wanted to do this video too is because I wasn't using a build that was by any means synergistic or even that efficient. Like I had no crazy combo potential built into this build. I had nothing in the way of like insane life gain or anything like that. So just as an example, like this is what you start with, this slash, and then I had the air dash, the basic one, for the longest time, but just over the last few days I came to really enjoy this flame one, which is great. Dragon Arc I've been using, I think I got that right from the get-go, and I have just loved it, so I've kept it. And then for my signature, I'm using that, which what's it called again? Glacial Cross. So yeah, before that, I only had one other thing, and that was some sort of Flame Blast. But I'm just really enjoying the ice because you can freeze enemies and get them out of your hair while you're dealing with other foes. So that's really sweet. And then for the longest time now, I've been using the Jewelry Box, which picking up Chaos Gems heals for a small amount, excludes gems collected from council members. So yeah, again, this isn't mind-bending stuff. It's not like over-the-top awesome combinations that I'm doing here, but there's just something about the Jewelry Box specifically that really fits my playstyle. There are far superior ways to heal in this game, but for just me playing the way I do, I was really enjoying that. So, but anyway, so you've seen more or less the spells that I am dealing with. Compared to, let's say, everyone knows combining Fueled Berserk with, pretty much any of these, but I'll use Ice Dagger for... Okay, so for instance, just on its own, if you hold it down, you get 4 rapid hits like that, or you can just like tap it yourself. But if you use Fueled Berserk like this, and then you just hold it down, you can just go nuts with it. So like that's part of a machine gun build, of course. So yeah, just to just to like clarify, like I wasn't using anything in the way of like efficient combo potential. Like it's really kind of just what I was really into using, and I just decided to stick with it. So yeah, how about we go into a run, and I will just do a bit of fighting as we go over some other details. But yeah, it was really interesting because I just woke up yesterday and I did a run. It was going really awesome. I was taking next to no hits anywhere for the longest time, but then close to the end I just started getting nailed and I was out pretty quickly then. And I said, okay, I'm gonna do one more run, and it went okay. Near the end I got kind of sloppy and was like down to half health by the time I finished the third of the elemental like wizards or whatever. And so, one sec. Okay, and I do want to make use of that, so I will continue babbling in 1 second. Okay. Okay, so actually I think a great way to express this is go into my album, because I did take some pics. So anyway, like, yeah, I made it past the third boss, and then of course the following chamber is the end boss with the 2 forms. So as you can see, the whole run took me 1 hour and 7 minutes. And part of the reason for that is because I pretty much collect or like smash open every barrel, every destructible item in each level just to rack up as much gold for spending. And the reason I am doing that is because I have yet to go to the lady who you can give her 20 chaos gems for, I think 200 gold is what she gives you. Because I'm like really into just putting my chaos gems towards the items that I'm like buying and collecting, I really didn't want to part with them just for gold. Like once I have everything, and the chaos gems will more or less become like they really won't serve a purpose other than going to her. And so yeah, once I have everything, then that's when I'll start going to her and doing that whole thing, which will come in handy because then you can just be buying relics in each run that much sooner. But anyways, so getting back to this. So anyway, that was more or less to explain why it took me that long. But one thing that's really cool when you beat the game is you go back to the starting museum, and it shows like all the things in relation to your successful run. So as you can see on the wall there is my finishing time. In the display cases you see the cloak that I had on at the time, and the relic of course, and my spells that I was running with in that particular run. And of course that additional, I don't recall the name of that one, but that's like these flames that circle you, and that really comes in handy. And then of course all the other relics that I got specifically in the run, and not the one that I chose before entering the trials. And I don't recall like what those all do. If you've been playing the game, you probably recognize some of them or know what they do. So I won't go into or attempt to explain what they do, because I have no idea at this point. I just recognize a couple of them, and yeah. So anyway, I think that is that. So all in all, like, really cool. Let's just get back into the action. So what happened was I went to... No, you piece. Dude! I went back to... okay, I got to the boss, and his first form... Oh, come on, man. His first form was pretty simple. Like, there was no point in which I felt threatened. Oh god. Okay, just 1 second. Like, he certainly throws a bunch of stuff your way, but at no point was it like super crazy. Like it's as simple as tracking his movements and avoiding shots and whatever else. So that went pretty great. And then his next form was also like, it kept me on my feet for sure, but again, at no point it was like really life-threatening until maybe the last minute of the match. I had been holding up, like I went into this fight with half my HP and I was holding up really well, but then near the end he got some hits in and I was just pummeled for a little while. He got me down to like 42 health or something like that, and so I was like, okay, at this point I'm gonna like actually pay attention and just avoid as much as I possibly can now, because like it's just a little on the dangerous side. And by the way, like this was the first time ever making it to the final boss, so my first time making it there was pretty successful in my opinion, because like I said, I was not using a very efficient build, pretty much my starting configuration, and just to see that I was able to pull it off my first time ever approaching this boss was pretty sweet. So with that said, like as I was saying, I was very, very low on HP, and it got to the point where I laid into him with a combo just as he laid into me, and I took him out, but I saw my health drop with his like last strike. It just dropped right to 6, and so like a single hit more and I would have been toast. So even though overall the fight felt simple in ways, it was still kind of just like nerve-wracking when it got to that very last few moments part of it. But anyway, like I said, just really cool that they show you your stats and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, I will just continue. And yeah, as you can see, I'm not really playing the most diligently. I'm kind of just focused more on talking and not getting sidetracked. So yeah, it is what it is. But anyway, that's more or less what I wanted to express. Like, just, it's a really awesome game. I love the pace of it, and the replay value is just awesome at this point. Like, beating it once, I automatically want to play it again, not just because I want to get my hands on the other 7 chaos spells, but because there's so much room for customization in this game. Like, when you think about the amount of spells that you can combo with each other, just the awesome builds you can get into, let alone the relics that you can be equipping, and just the potential is huge. And so in that sense, I know I will be playing this for a long time to come. Now, when you beat the game, you get the final cloak, which is called Pride. And what that does, I think the only thing it does actually is decrease your maximum HP. So it's kind of like a way of being like, oh, if you think you're tough, then yeah, start off in a weaker state and see how you fare. So that's kind of cool. Like, I'll probably use that at some point and see what that's like. But yeah, I really like this blue one because of, yeah, just what it has going for it. Hence why I used it. Oh, dude. Oh, you little... Man, we are like so low on HP now. Holy smokes. Okay, maybe I'll just focus for a little bit. But yeah, if you have been thinking about getting the game, then I would encourage you... Oh my god. Then I would encourage you to definitely get it, because it is a blast. I have yet to play co-op with my buddy. I think we are going to be doing that in a few days or something like that. So that'll be really interesting to check out at long last. We'll see how much it differs compared to like doing a solo run. But yeah, all in all, just, yeah, so good. Yeah, I don't mind healing up a little bit here. Let's just get into this and see how we do. Oh, dude, no way. Oh, man, this guy is as if. That guy was such a pest. As if. That was nuts. That was just completely silly of me. But anyway, yeah, that might as well be it for this video. But yeah, just thought I would share some of that stuff. I think the point that I was more or less wanting to get into is that you don't have to be using like the most top-notch of builds. Like the thought crossed my mind to use something more efficient, but then I thought to myself, like, man, I've been using the same build from the very start, and that says something pretty powerful about just how much I like the spells that I have going, even though it's not super crazy. So in that sense, like, if you are struggling with the game to any degree, or even if you're not, but you just haven't beaten it, or you want to just like, yeah, like whatever. The point is, like, you can just stick with what you want to play with, what is currently fun for you to play with, whatever you're drawn to, and yeah, just see what happens and just keep at it. Like I said, it's such a blast of a game, and I'm glad I didn't just go with like what's currently a strong build, because like it's unique to me. I adjusted this here and there to my liking, and it proved to be enough to get through the game, so for my first time anyway, so that's yeah, pretty sweet. But anyway, that's gonna be it. That was definitely a sloppy run, but good times nonetheless. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Like, subscribe, share your comments below. If you've beaten the game, share like what build you were using, what combos or like awesome synergies you had going. Let me know if you've discovered something really cool that you haven't seen anyone else do. Just that sort of thing. And yeah, like, it would just be great to hear from you guys. So yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna jet. But yeah, stay tuned for more, and yeah, I'll see you next time.